right on the stick of Tonelli. Coming in with Nystrom. Tonelli to Nystrom. He scores!
Bates driving to the net. Bates knocked down. There'll be a penalty.
Picked out by Glenn Hamlin. Shot! Score!
The Islanders have had 2 penalty shots in Stanley Cup playoff history. Here is number 3. Bates against Joseph. With Ferraro. Here they come. 2-on-1. Bullock shoots. Scores! David Bullock. Islanders. Bates in on goal. Shoots. He scores! Consider that for a franchise loaded with memorable postseason moments, you have just witnessed one of the most memorable.
All right, Stan, let's take a look at our GMC goaltending matchups for this afternoon's game between the Islanders and the Boston Bruins.
Jim Carey, if he plays anything as he played in Boston on Thursday night, the 2 points belong to the Islanders easily. Tommy Salo, what else can you say? They had to go to a guy, they went to him, and he has not disappointed, as he has not disappointed his fans and his teammates all season long.
And the Islanders, with a win, a loss, and a tie when they've seen Dave Jackson, Brian Murphy, Stefan Provo will handle the lines. And the Islanders start out with their hot line of Reichel, the center, Smolinski on left wing, Palffy on the right, Janssen and McCabe, the defense pair, Jason Allison, number 41 for Boston, with Anson Carter, number 11, Tim Sweeney, number 42, that's the forward combination, Dean Malcock, number 44, and Raymond Bourque, number 77, on the Boston back line. Salo plays it around to Palffy in the Islanders zone. Big crowd at the Coliseum and they're pumped. The Islanders unbeaten in their last 4. The Bruins have lost 5 in a row, 7 out of 8. And an instant icing call against the Bruins will send the face-off into the Boston zone.
Now you have to know that the coaching staff of the Islanders are worried about one thing, that the Islanders are not going to take the Boston Bruins seriously enough. Players like McCabe are being reminded regularly that you just can't take it for granted. This is the National Hockey League team, the Boston Bruins. They've got a guy named Raymond Bourque who doesn't quit. He plays injured. He's playing injured right now. So Zygmunt Palffy and all of the rest of the Islanders, beware. If you take them for granted, they're liable to bite you.
Face off to the right side of Jim Carey. And it's Bourque twisting it around to his defense partner, Malcock. Dave McElwain will wear number 10 for the Islanders this afternoon. McElwain replacing Nicholas Anderson in the lineup. Bruised his foot when he blocked a shot in Boston on Thursday. Jason Allison trying to split the defense, nothing doing. Berard lost it to a Carter stick check. Put back in front, but Salo steers it to the corner. Now Carter for Boston. Feeding Sweeney, that's chipped away. Held in by Malcock. Allison tees it up. Berard heads to him. Now Allison swings it to Carter. Janssen goes right after him. Reichel has the puck. Berard saw one shift on right wing on Thursday night. Couldn't clear it out there. Sweeney centers. Allison forced away by Berard. Bourque can't get a shot off. And here's a 3-on-1 for the Islanders. Smolinski shoots. He scores! Great Raymond Bourque can turn it over.
Wow, he gambled and lost. Howie trying to get that first goal for his hockey club. The gamble backfired big time. The Islanders end up with a 3-on-1. There's the puck, goes back. There. Here go the Islanders on the right side. You've got Reichel in the middle, Palffy on the right side, but Smolinski sees just enough room to get the puck in, and he, with his accuracy, makes it 1-0.
So an icing call against the Bruins. They'll bring it back, and the Islanders jump to the early lead.
Beautiful shot, almost as if it was a gamble. Let's take another look at it. Watch what happens with Bourque, and we stop it right here. Look at Bourque. He's in the act of shooting. Here's the puck back by his foot. And now you have to know that the Islanders are aiming. They're aiming up toward the Boston end. And Smolinski is looking. He's looking. And there's the shot. Beautiful shot just inside the goalpost.
Green and Stumpel draw. A chance with a drive, and it sails wide. The puck flutters to the control of the Bruins. Jean-Yves Roy, number 43. Over the Islander line. Closes and shoots, and it hit a stick. Stumpel hit by Green. Bertuzzi's got the puck, and he bursts out of the Islanders' zone. Lost it to Roy. The Bruins go back to the attack. Stumpel tied up and dumped by Green, allowing for a chance clear. Smolinski's 23rd, second game in a row now that he's scored after going 7 straight without one. Reichel and Janssen assisted 124. McCabe chased and mildly hit by Stumpel. McCabe winds it around, and there's Dave McElwain for the Islanders, signed as a free agent over the summer. This is his second tour with the Islanders. The last time he played with them was the year in which he played for all 4 divisions in 1 year, representatives of each of the 4 divisions. That was back in 91-92. Ken Belanger, number 33, gains the zone. Belanger with a move, but he couldn't control the puck. And then Steve Webb with a vigorous check on Sheldon Kennedy. The Bruins back to the attack. This is Odgers. Keep in mind, Belanger rearranged Jeff Odgers' face on Thursday night in Boston on the ice together.
I saw him after the hockey game, Howie. He'd broken his nose, but that's nothing new for Odgers, but the rest of his face was well scarred and marked up.
Doug Huda with a dump in, and Jim Carey plays it to the corner. Kennedy stripped by Hughes. He shoots. He scores! The joint is jumping, and the Islanders have a 2-0 lead.
Wow, talk about major mistakes. One thing to make them in the offensive zone, but how about in your own end of the zone? In your own zone, excuse me. Sheldon Kennedy gets pocket picked. Brett Hughes with a beautiful play. A little chip backhand, his quick move. There it is. Kennedy. I think that line has the Boston Bruins upset to the point where they cough up the puck easily. They don't know when they get the puck whether they're going to be hit or what's going to happen, as Hughes with a beautiful backhand shot has made it 2-0, and the Boston Bruins forced to take a timeout, try and slow things down.
Well, this is some turnaround when you consider that on Thursday night in Boston, the Bruins jumped to an early 2-0 lead, and Rick Bowness used his timeout. Now Steve Kasper is hoping for similar results, because shortly after the Islanders took their timeout, they came back and tied the game. Although they would fall behind before the end of the period, they came back to win 6-3.
Well, how many things at this point in the season can a coach say to a depleted lineup when they're doing what they're doing? First of all, it would be a question about the short side on Smolinski's goal. I'd give Carey a little bit of wiggle room if you want, because it was a 3-on-1 break. He can't hold the post there. He's got to anticipate a pass to the middle of the ice, so he's got to be ready for that. Just a great shot by Smolinski. But that time, Kennedy, no excuse. He just made a big boo-boo in front of his own net.
So Tim Sweeney to Anson Carter as the Bruins play the puck in the Islanders' zone. Salo turns aside. Don Sweeney's point shot. And Palffy's got the puck. Reichel chases it off the boards. Carries all the way to Carey. Then he gives it away to Smolinski. Tried to whip one in front. Couldn't do it. Carter has it at his skates, and Berard pressures. Ryan Berard in deep, as he's wont to do. Sweeney around for Roloff. And the Bruins up the left wing. Tim Sweeney, stick check by Janssen. Palffy to Smolinski. Here come the Islanders, 3-on-2. Berard's in the rush. Now Reichel couldn't tee it up cleanly, so he just threw it across the slot. No Islander home. And Tim Sweeney with a soft dump in allows for a Bruin line change. 4:20 into the first period. The Islanders have taken 2 shots. They've beaten Jim Carey both times.
I'm sure that the Islander coaches, Howie, have to be talking to the players. Look, don't fall for any kind of a trap. The Bruins didn't hand you the goals. Well, in a way they did, but they're not trying to give you the hockey game, so just remember something. They can still come back and sting you, particularly if you let up, let your guard down.
We'll step out with 4:42 gone in the first period. Brent Hughes having some words. Joseph Stumple there. That doesn't amount to anything, so it's safe to step away momentarily.
Let's take another look at Brian Smolinski. He's got the puck. He's right here. Now, this is Reichel over here, and way over on the other side is where Zygmunt Palffy. If you stop it right there. The reason the goaltender has to hold, if he moves over here a little bit further, he's worried that this pass may go across. That's why the defenseman is sitting where he is in the middle of the ice.
Bob Deer's got a shot through from the point. The Islander defense prevented Jean-Yves from getting to the rebound. And Brian McCabe curls behind the Islander cage. A chance for McElwain. Went off his stick. Dean Malcock sweeps it the other way. The Islanders have been on the puck continuously, and Lapointe just took the body on Jean-Yves. Stumble, checked by McElwain. McElwain's strengths are penalty killing and defensive play. DeMaio, the former Islander, steps one wide to the left side of Salo. Stumble got away from Green. Sets up the trailer, and Davis Payne's shot was stopped by Salo. Payne was a scratch on Thursday night. Bruins turn it over. Bertuzzi from McElwain onside, but Bourque slips it away. Now to DeMaio on right wing. Rob DeMaio feeds Bourque for a shot that goes wide. Comes around to the near board. Stumple left it in the corner where Bertuzzi ran into Payne. And McElwain slides it into the Boston zone, and this one will carry all the way down, but icing is waved off. So Dean Chanel, former Islander #1 draft pick, getting time on the Boston defense. Up the middle, nobody home, although it was ruled that it could have been touched by Odgers. So Huda feeds Reichel. 6:15 gone in the first period. 2-0 Islanders. And Carey will take care of this with Reichel pressuring. Reichel works it free. Smolinski couldn't tee it up. Palffy does, centers, but Reichel pushed it wide. Smolinski gives it away, but gets it back momentarily. Look at the pressure from the Islanders. They're hounding the puck.
Wow, the Boston Bruins are panicking as well, Howie. We're just mishandling. Everybody thinks that thing is too hot to handle.
Palffy to Reichel. Smolinski just missed on the glove side. And the Palffy-Smolinski-Reichel line continues to create chances almost at will. Here he comes again. Reichel, Smolinski, he missed the net. Now Palffy off the leg of Don Sweeney. Smolinski chips it in behind where Reichel was knocked down. Play allowed to continue. And Smolinski gobbles it up in center. You can't account, you can't predict chemistry. But since they were put together, Reichel, Palffy, and Smolinski have exhibited plenty of it. 12:37 remaining, first period. All Islanders so far. Ryan Smolinski's made a nice adjustment to playing left wing as opposed to center. And he's got a very laid-back, sort of easygoing personality that might have something to do with making that kind of a shift. He's done it before anyway, but kind of shrugs his shoulders and says, wherever they want me to play, I'll play.
Well, talented players with the demeanor that he has. Ooh, look at here.
Berard back on the puck. Allison wrestles him. Now Bertuzzi, a shot off of Carey. The rebound in the slot. A backhander by Green. Knocked down in front. Jansson's got it back. That was deflected by Bertuzzi. Bruins still trying to clear. Now they do.
Some players love to play with the puck. They're not good at going and getting it, Howie. And when you've got players like Palffy, he'll go and get it out of the corner. So there's no problem there. I believe Reichel, from what I've seen, will. Smolinski isn't attuned to doing that so much. You've got to get him the puck. And off the wing, he's getting the puck because Reichel handles it so well. He can pass it in either direction. And Palffy, of course, will find you anywhere when you're open.
Islanders hockey is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who remind you that fresh beer tastes better. Now introducing new Born on Dating, the day your Bud was born. Your beer fresh.
Hardest line to check is a line that handles the puck and flips those little passes, and they have speed. Each one of the players, as you see two of them there, Palffy on your left, Reichel on your right, they've got great foot speed. And here the Islanders, a shot by Todd Bertuzzi. Carey got in front of that one. But look at here. Look at the scramble. But if you've got good foot speed and great hands and handling of the puck ability and anticipation, which they all have, boy, you can drive anybody crazy with that. It's that give and go.
Roloff with a blast, saved by Salo. He gets Odgers too. First Roloff, and then from close in, Jeff Odgers into Tommy Salo, no problem.
Well, Tommy Salo hasn't seen a whole lot of work in this game so far, but he has 5 shots. But I would have to think there hasn't been that many tough ones. And the Boston Bruins, there's a long, but maybe that's not exactly what Tommy Salo had in mind after that long shot. And that may be a result of the fact that there's not a lot of play around his net. Given the option, he'd sooner do that with the original shot, and if he's got time, dish it off to a defenseman or a centerman coming back to help, rather than kick that rebound out where he did.
14th straight start for Tommy Salo, 20th in his last 21 games. Shut out. Hit hard by Belanger. Sheldon Kennedy fails to clear. McCabe's floater winds up in the corner. LaPointe, Belanger, and Webb, the Islander forward line. The Bruin has broken his stick. It's Dean Chenault, so he's able to hand pass in his own zone. Roloff had to be aware of the broken stick there. And LaChance curls it back behind the Boston goal. Islanders changing here as Carey winds it out of the goal, or at least out of the Boston zone. And Doug Huda makes the referee Dave Jackson skip out of the way. Raymond Bourque in his 18th season. And it'll be the first time he's ever missed the playoffs. Not a mathematical certainty yet. Dave McElwain drives to the corner. McElwain centers one. He scores! 3-0 Islanders.
Even the local boy, a Boston native, well, Manchester, Massachusetts, up the North Shore. But he finishes one off with Carey laying on the ice. Doug Huda, here he is, starting to play. Nice little pass up the middle. And then what looked like a broken play, Bourque racing back in number 77, McElwain. There's his pass, a beauty. And Randy Wood seals it into the top of the net. Was that Rob DeMaio trying to check Randy Wood from behind? Yes, it was. And Randy Wood has given the Islanders a 3-0 lead halfway through the first period.
The Islanders. Johnny Roy with a shot stopped by Salo. And Palffy's got the puck. Fifth of the year from Randy Wood from McElwain and Huda at 9:46. Palffy put it in front. And the Bruins clear. Dave McElwain scored 29 goals, 72 points with Cleveland in the International Hockey League. And again brought up today because of the injury to Nicholas Anderson. Day-to-day with a bruised foot.
Davey McElwain, originally a draft pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Reichel to Vesky in the Islander end of the ice. Palffy's got it. Palffy into the Boston zone. Try to leave it for Reichel because Ziggy drew 2 and almost a third Bruin right to him, but the third one just did get back. Sweeney to Allison. Jason Allison snaps one off the stick of teammate Tim Sweeney. Sweeney goes after it in the corner. Janssen goes to the other side with Allison. Hanson corner for Jason Allison. Sweeney. Tim Sweeney. Try to get it to Allison. That's batted away. And Kenny Janssen lifts it out of trouble. 8:40 to go in the first. 3-0 Islanders. Shooting 75% from the floor. I know our trader statistician Eric Merlis, who left for the NBA, would appreciate the basketball reference. Merlis paying us a visit this afternoon in the absence of Eric Hornet. And an offside inside the Islander blue line. 8:19 to go in the first period. Merlis is a front runner, isn't he? That's because of the score. Well, the key is progress, significant progress being made by the Islander organization, and so the place is close to full this afternoon. Well, there are still some empty seats. Islanders with 9 sellouts this year, the most they've had since 84-85. McElwain in the Islanders zone. Couldn't chip it out the first time, nor the second. Jean-Yves Wade, a stumble. Of stumble number 16, pinned by LeChance. McCabe on the puck, and he plays it up the middle. Icing waved off, so Carey has a free play, although it was headed to the net anyway. Rob DeMaio hit over the Islander line with Wade. He fall down. Now Huda pinching, or at least hitting the Bruin behind the net. It was DeMaio. And as Vasky lifts it up high, McElwain chips it out of the zone. Huda slams it into Boston territory. And Roloff's pass finds no one close. So an icing against the Boston Bruins.
There, we got all the mascots here, including Mr. Met.
My daughter is...
That wasn't Nelson, was it?
that was Westfall, Mr. Double A. Eddie said that. My little one, Chelsea's afraid of Mr. Met. Is he? I was trying to get her to take a picture with him for 2 years. She's 17 now. Ren Hughes lifts the puck into the Boston zone. Up the left side goes Sweeney for Boston, and Salo took the angle and the puck away. I mean, they're in no certain position of making the playoffs at all.
Makes you wonder who they are and how qualified a statement that was.
Well, you know what, though? I mean, this one didn't matter. Writers, broadcasters, other hockey people that we get the chance to chat to, it was unanimous that it really made Washington dangerous. Oh, they still might miss. Bork put it in front. Huda broke it up.
You know, if you take that to another dimension or think of it in another way, it's Palffy heads for the net.
He gets it, but he misses. Now Palffy to Reichel. Ziggy again. Smolinski alone in front. He tips it. He scores! Oh, are those three guys going? 4-0 New York.
Wow, just beautiful passing by this line of Islanders. Smoke and fire, if you will. But as I had said earlier, they handle the puck so well. Those little passes, there's one. And then Palffy with a return one, there's two. And Brian Smolinski with a change of direction off this play by Zygmunt Palffy. It just made it across the line. The referee was there, could easily see it. So Smolinski, with his second of the hockey game, his 24th, has made it 4-0.
Jeff Odgers curls it behind the net. Kennedy and LeChance. Odgers takes it away. Odgers put it in front, but Belanger tips it out of the zone. Remember, an Islander player scores a hat trick this season. Discover Card donates $500 to the local chapter of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So Smoke's on fire, and he's one away from a hat trick. Webb to the red line. Cross corner dump in. Here comes Belanger. Dean Malcock meet Ken Belanger. I don't think Belanger dropped anything. Malcock let go of his stick and gloves, and only now does Belanger decide to get involved. And Malcock may be sorry that he did.
Well, there's no question there's got to be an instigator here. Malcock had only one thing in mind, and that bang. He just sucker punched Belanger. Belanger appeared as though he wasn't going to fight. And Malcock just hauled off and drilled him. And you don't have any choice.
.404 remaining in the first period. This has been all Islanders, and the crowd loves it.
Well, they've got a new goaltender, Paxton Schaefer. Almost thought he was going to end up in the Bruins net on Thursday night, but Chase scoring summary. We'll get you a reason why. Smolinski and Hughes started things off. And Randy Wood from McElwain, who's been in the lineup now with Nicholas Anderson sideline. Smolinski gets his second one at 15-11. And Anson Carter answering for the Boston Bruins. Jim Carey probably breathing a little bit easier, has been put on the plank. That's the runway going in to the dressing room. But
what has happened to Jim Carey? Vezina Trophy winner last year, bearing no resemblance whatsoever to that goaltender this season. And here comes Palffy. Quick shot sails over the glove of Paxton Schaefer, 21 years old, out of Medicine Hat, Alberta.
Boston Bruins' third pick back in 1995. So anyway, he's going to get, I'm sure he's very, very nervous. Not a little bit nervous, Howie. A junior hockey player here for the Boston Bruins, playing in his first NHL game.
Raymond Bourque sweeps it back in behind the Boston net. Schaefer was actually recalled late January until mid-February. Now Smolinski with a shot blocked, and the rebound curls right through the goal crease of Paxton Schaefer.
Well, I stand corrected. 37 minutes he's already had in the NHL. Paxton Schaefer has 2 goals against, no decisions, in relief of Rob Tallis.
All right, Kinger, his first goal as a Hartford Whaler. Must have been a tip-in because originally they credited it to Steve Chasen. So they've cleaned that up, and it's Derek King's first goal for Hartford and the first goal of their game against the Rangers. Jean-Yves Roy for the Bruins. Stood up by Barron. Don Sweeney has a little room now. He moves up and shoots it off for Bertuzzi's leg. LaChance out-muscles DeMaio behind the net. LaChance flutters it towards the corner. Stumple gets it back for Boston, though. And now LaChance has it for the Islanders. Bertuzzi golfs it out of the New York zone. And John Roloff goes back to get it with McElwain after him. And Green on Stumple. Don Sweeney to DeMaio. And now the Bruins come out. Roy killing a little time as to afford the Bruins a line change. And Huda feeds Green. Doug Huda picked up an assist on Randy Wood's goal. First time Huda's been on the score sheet since January.
Kenny Young.
Centering feed for Carter. Didn't get there. Into the corner. Allison for Boston. Johansson, Carter. Carter drives one off of Janssen. Rebound Sweeney, and he hit the goalpost. Now is Tim Sweeney, number 42, no relation to the defenseman Don Sweeney, number 32 for Boston. And Lapointe doing all he can to hold off Sweeney, who finally gets it deep. So Allison centers Carter, and he tried to get it back to Allison. Sweeney again. Finally lost it to Lapointe, and the Islanders break out shorthanded. So Lapointe whistles a happy tune to chew on some clock and shoots it down the ice. Now the Islanders can change. They've got Flont and Palffy up front. Vasky and LaChance back. Raymond Bourque. And over the line to Roy. Jean-Yves Roy threw it at the net. LaChance broke it up. Back at the line, it's Beers. 38 to go to the Boston power play. Bob Beers for Roy. Cross ice, centering feed, missed by DeMaio. Roy again. To Bourque. Raymond Bourque shoots straight through to Sallow, and he holds on.
I think I recognize that group.
You're right. There's Alyssa Jade Rose in her Islander jersey. And Chelsea Blake Rose being held by Barbara Rose. Alyssa doesn't know she's on TV, and for a fee, I might get her a tape.
There we go.
Semi-regulars at the Nassau Coliseum.
No such thing as the War of the Roses.
Right. McCabe shot tip.
You wouldn't win that battle anyway.
Are you kidding? I'm a minority. A wife and 2 daughters. You think I've got anything to say about anything?
No, absolutely not. The way it ought to be. Well, Brian McCabe isn't in that position, but his Islanders are in a pretty good position right now. Up by 3 goals over the Boston Bruins. We've just gotten underway here in the second period. 15 minutes remaining, and talk about Brian's. There's Brian Berard.
I hope I mentioned my wife's name, Barbara, or else the locks will change before I get home. She was obscured a little bit because Chelsea was on Barbara's left. But a penalty coming up here. A high stick indicated by referee Dave Jackson. And the Islanders are going to the power play as Dean Chanel heads to the box.
Sometimes changing goaltenders, which Bruins have just done. Paxton Schaefer coming in to replace Jim Carey. See if that would give his team a lift, but Steve Kasper so far hasn't been able to see anything that's going to get him excited. And it'll be interesting to find out or see what happens as things unfold here after the season, to see if Steve Kasper, a lot of people, my friend and broadcasting partner, Stan Fischler. Remember last year he had him fired. I kept telling him, no. And I'm not so sure that he wouldn't be wrong if he said that sometime after the season that was going to happen to Steve Kasper, which I think he did. So Stan Fischler may be right after all, but anyway, never like to see guys. That's Cap Rader on the far side. He's a local Bostonian. Has been assistant coach around the NHL in Los Angeles, Hartford.
Brian Berard for the Islanders at a Woonsocket, Rhode Island, which I guess is Bruins territory.
Yeah, that's also the farm team of the Boston Red Sox.
Woonsocket or Pawtucket?
Pawtucket, right next door.
Woonsocket.
Part of, Rhode Island.
I guess everything's next door to each other in Rhode Island, huh?
Absolutely. The suburbs. They're both suburbs of...
Here's Palffy shooting one wide to the right side of Paxton Schaefer. And another souvenir with 1:23 of power play time remaining to the Islanders.
Close call. Take a look at our Chrysler League leaderboard and see what the subject is. Well, Ray Borg, it looks as though he's going to be part of it. Career assists. Yes, there they are. Well, Gretzky, you can just remove him because he's so far ahead and still going. And Coffey. Paul Coffey still playing. Marcel Dion, of course, wonderful career. Great Los Angeles King, retired out of the New York Rangers. And Raymond Bourque, 1,000 and climbing. Wants to play another couple of years. And if he wants to play another 2 years in a Boston uniform, who's going to argue?
Hey, did you see where Gordy's not going to get his chance in Syracuse after all?
Thank goodness. They're too close to the playoffs. Well, they got a lot of publicity for the Syracuse franchise and for... I don't know whether it would be good publicity for my friend Gordie Howe. I hate to see things like that. It almost becomes a circus. And there's too much dignity when you've had the wonderful career that he's had to be performing at that level. And, just enjoy hockey. And there's too much dignity when you've had the wonderful career that he's had to be performing at that level. And, just enjoy hockey, be a part of it from the position of spectator.
DeMaio and Smolinski along the boards. Do most of your contemporaries feel that way? I mean, it didn't seem to be a very popular thing that Gordy was thinking of coming back.
There's been a lot of things. Look out here. A lot of things involving Gordie Howe, and a lot of us think that Colleen, his wife, goes too aggressively about trying to present Gordie in areas around and part of hockey that should be left alone. I think that Gordie Howe should be always in. Look out here. There we go. A little wraparound. You could see it coming as Palffy came out of the corner. And Paxton Schaefer watches Sigmund Palffy put one in behind. He's given up 3 goals now in the NHL. He's only played in, about 40 minutes, a little more than that. About 43 minutes of NHL time. He's given up 3 goals. A power play goal here for the Islanders. As a close call by the penalty killers of Boston, but the Islanders recover, and out of the corner, Sigmund Palffy after Robert Reichel spots him there, and then the quick hands of Palffy has made it 5-1.
So 42 now for Zygmunt Palffy as the Islanders convert on the power play. And Ziggy just one away from his season total of last year. Did that in 81 out of the 82 games. This is his 73rd game. So 5-1 New York. Brent Hughes knocked down by Odgers. McCleary, sharp angle shot stopped by Sallow. Kennedy spun around by LaChance. Now Vasky on Odgers. And Sallow gives it to Brent Hughes, who has a goal this afternoon. Bob Deers in the Boston zone. Put it off the wall to the Islander blue line. Huda and McCabe exchange. McElwain to Green. Travis Green with a drive that goes wide. Green behind the net. Kennedy hit by Huda, but the Bruins get the puck. Anson Carter looking for the right side of the ice to Allison, but he's tangled up with McElwain. Todd Bertuzzi with some nifty moves and a little open ice now. Gains the zone, works on Chenault. Got knocked down. And Chenault has the puck and starts a rush of his own. Up to Carter. Couldn't hold on to it. Green failed to clear. Troy Millette, I believe this is his first shift this afternoon. Played it to the other side. And Bertuzzi from long range plays it off the glass. 11:10 to go in the second. Belanger slowed up by Millette. Millette had over 300 penalty minutes his rookie year in the NHL with the Rangers. There's been nothing but a spare part, if that, ever since several other teams. Well, points drive, a stick save by Paxton Schaefer. And Belanger again. Fires one. It hit off of Schaefer's blocker, winds up in the corner, and is cleared by Don Sweeney. Now Janssen drives it around. You've got to figure Millette was out there with Ken Belanger on the ice at the same time for the Islanders.
With malice in thought?
Probably. Nothing developed, though. Now the Islanders have their big line. Now, you know what? We got to start thinking about a nickname for this Smolinski, Palffy, Reichel line.
Smoking fired.
That works. Palffy to Smolinski. And Ziggy centers for Reichel, who tips it over the net. Then LaChance plays it back to the Islander blue line. Vasky played it off of the linesman. And here comes Palffy. Quick shot. He scores! Number 43 for Ziggy. 6-1 New York.
Schaefer just punched the crossbar. He was looking for help. Didn't get it. It went off the goalpost and trickled in. But Palffy, his quickness, low, looking for it into the open side, and he gets it. 5-1 goes to 6-1 on Zygmunt Palffy's 43rd goal of the season. Low, quick shot off the post, and it's a counter.
Well, remember, if Ziggy or anybody else this afternoon, Smolinski's got two, gets a hat trick. Discover Card donates $500 to the local chapter of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Somebody threw a hat. Wait a minute. That's only two.
Hey, come on, they're lowering the standards.
Right, we'll ask Mr. Met here. He's with us, and we'll ask him. It takes 3 for a hat trick, right? Yeah, 3. He's got it.
Yeah, it's Mascot Day here at the Nassau Coliseum. Several NHL mascots are on hand, and so is Mr. Met. Chelsea, take cover.
Brian Smolinski on the right, Robert Reichel on the left. And, well, we're still calling them Smoke and Fire. And there's what's going on today. 2 goals and a +3, 4 assists and a +3, 2 goals and an assist for Zygmunt Palffy. You got to email it and try and get a new name for the line as they keep climbing, keep on working towards making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll throw that address up there sooner or later, so in case you're thinking of emailing us, we'll get you the exact address, because if I try to say that by memory, it'll come something like SCIslanders@AOL.com, New York / Frogs Neck Bridge, 2 dots, HT, I don't know.
Yeah, and pay the toll at the tunnel.
Exactly. Get the easy pass, though. That baby's good. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
May find out if the Islanders have to drive to Philadelphia for the playoffs. Long way off yet, of course. It's kind of hard not to be caught up in the enthusiasm of the moment and the recent days here at the Nassau Coliseum. The life, the energy is back in the building, and his play is one of the reasons why, even though not a big factor today.
Well, it doesn't have to be a factor right now, and right now Tommy Salo just trying to keep himself preoccupied. That's the hardest part when things are going the way they're going right now. But going back to when Rick Bowness said he's going to go, he's got to figure out which is the guy, and I'm going to go to him, and I'm going to go with him. And he has stuck by that. That's so important for a coach. Players, they listen intently. They hear the coach, and they remember. And if he doesn't fulfill what he says he's going to do, it doesn't go well.
Islanders have scored as many as 8 this year. They have 6 now, and look at all the time left in the second period. Claude Lapointe to the Boston line. Shrugs off a Beers check. Sets up Belanger in front, Webb, and he's stopped by Schaefer.
Well, that's a good stop by the young goaltender, Howie. Beautiful left pad stretching out. He's got his arm up on the top of his pad to cover a little more room.
This is one of those Jimmy Durante games for the Islanders. Everybody getting into the act. And Belanger to the corner. And Belanger lifts one to the left side of Paxton Schaefer. Belanger came close to his first NHL goal on that last shift. And LeChance touches up for an icing call. So let's show you the real address in case you want to think about a name. There's Ken Belanger, but we're talking about the Palffy, Reichel, Smolinski line. Let's think of a name, and you do the rest. Thanks to NYNEX.
We want the creativity juices to flow, folks, so come up with something good. We'll consider it. Of course, we'll have to pass it along to the line and ask Robert Reichel. Well, does he approve? Does Brian Smolinski and Zygmunt Palffy, do they approve? But look at here. Great stop here. Good scoring opportunity for Stevie Webb, looking for his NHL goal.
Kind of fitting that we'd solicit email and then show you a website.
Very good.
No. Merlis doesn't like
Paxton Schaefer.
It doesn't involve a knife and fork. Merlis is not going to like it. He was going to sneak. Eric Merlis is the former assistant director of public relations for the Islanders, and he thought he was going to sneak back in here this afternoon and do stats for us without putting up with at least a little bit of abuse. He was sadly mistaken. We'll call a moratorium, though. For now, Smolinski towards the slot. Shoots one wide to the left of Schaefer. Jean-Yves Roy to the right side to Mayo. Off of Palffy's skate. And Smolinski heads back up ice. DeMaio hounding him, allowing Bork to play the puck away at the blue line. Roy clipped by Palffy, who takes the puck again. Islanders will change here. Palffy just lifts it deep. Doug Huda with his point this afternoon on Wood's goal. Registered a point for the first time in 28 games. He's gone 27 straight without hitting the score sheet.
Did I say just made his bonus?
Yeah, probably.
Well, Dougie Huda knows as well as most that that's not his job, but it's always fun. It doesn't make any difference. That point is very important to him.
Raymond Bork up the middle. Landon Wilson for Boston. 3 Islanders back. Plot tugged him down. And with the Bruins changing, the Islanders go to the attack. Randy Wood lifts it to the right of Paxton Schaefer. He didn't start. Came on to relieve Jim Carey at the beginning of this period. Carey gave up 4 in the first period. Islanders have added 2 against Schaefer here in the second.
Belanger after Melcock just a moment ago. Howie just reminding him that he's out on the ice. Gave him a little rub. Wanted to see if there was any response.
Webb up ahead for Berard. And the Bruins play it deep. Kenny Janssen missed Webb with a pass. And Beers feeds the right side. Davis Payne, number 17 for Boston, curls it behind the net. McCleary ran into Berard. And Lapointe comes to center. Claude Lapointe challenging. Alcock came to help out Beers, and that took care of Lapointe. So McCleary for the Bruins. Rifles it rink wide. Green got a stick on it. And Travis Green tried the home run pass to McElwain, but it hit his skate, forcing the play offside. With 4:14 to go in the second period, all Islanders. Oh, there. Is that where he really got the taste of head coaching in Tampa?
I'm a firm believer that he anticipated being the head coach in Tampa. Terry Crisp has always been very good with young teams, bring them along and get them to a certain point. And then a lot of people think that's the end of it. I don't particularly agree with that, but anyway, I think the idea was that maybe Cashman would take over as head coach. But Terry Crisp had done such a good job there, you couldn't fire him.
Jason Allison tries to slide it across, broken up by Huda.
Boy, there's a great example of changing your mind.
A backhander on Salo is stopped by Tommy. 2 stuff attempts.
Anson Carter, hands in the air, thinking it's in. Well, he's got the only goal for the Boston Bruins in this hockey game. The Islanders leading 6-1 with 3 minutes remaining. But Anson Carter, didn't do it. But Allison, watch here. He comes in, fakes, holds, and now, why would you try and pass the puck? 2 things. The player you're trying to pass it to is covered. 2, the other one, number 2 would be Huda, is down. He's down, got all of the low ice covered for any kind of a pass. Anson Carter trying to finish what Jason Allison started. And I would think there, Howie's a great example of you let the shot go. When you see that the guy on your left is covered, it started out as a 2-on-1 break. One of the Islanders back picks up the Boston Bruin, fired at the net. That way you've got 2 opportunities. Either it goes in. If Tommy Salo makes the save, he could leave a rebound for that other Bruin coming straight down the ice.
Danny Plante for the Islanders played it off the boards with a second effort. Dumps it in behind the Boston net. Don Sweeney spent a lot of time over his 9 years in the league, paired with Ray Bourque on defense. Starts a rush, gets to the Islander blue line. Sets up Millette, who misses by a healthy margin. And it's Plante. Failing to clear. Hughes got knocked down. Landon Wilson with a drive and a stop in front. And then Salo sweeps the rebound behind the net. A centering feed comes right back at Salo. That's Davis Payne being hit by Brent Hughes. Payne, number 17 of the Bruins.
Trying to stir things up, trying to be respectable. That's generally what happens, particularly when you have young players and they're down 6-1. They're playing in a city that is a very passionate hockey city, trying to live up to the expectations of all of the fans, and things are, but you're trying to be respectable. You're trying to, if you're going to lose, you want to lose with respect. And some of the players, as again, most of the young players coming into the NHL have had a lot of success on the teams prior to coming, in this case, to the Bruins. And boy, losing is bad enough, but losing in a Bruins sweater and listening to the fans and the newspapers and all of the media people coming down on them, it's a lot for some players to take.
John Roloff put it all the way through the slot. And here's Belanger moving well. Lapointe headed to the hole. Belanger closes in. He shoots and he missed upstairs. And a pinch by LaChance keeps the puck in the Bruins zone long enough for the Islanders to regroup, but there's an offside pass. And congratulations are in order for Ron Francis, who has scored his 400th National Hockey League goal this afternoon. First goal in the Pittsburgh-Los Angeles.
Yeah, you see who got an assist on that. Yerma Yager, back in uniform for Pittsburgh.
All right, Michael Jordan and the Bulls appearing on SportsChannel tonight against the New Jersey Nets. That'll be from the United Center in Chicago. Sports Authority game time at 8. Nets and Bulls. Nets off of their win over the Knicks last night. Have been playing well down the stretch as well. It was the second win for the Nets over the Knicks. In recent times, they had combined to beat the Knicks and Bulls back-to-back just a couple of weeks ago. And so the Nets getting things done lately. For them, too late for playoff consideration.
Yeah, great. Not everybody. Look at here, ducking out. He doesn't want any part of those mascots. Help. No,
either that or the kid's a Bruins fan.
He says, "Dad, I'm running out of energy. We need some nourishment here."
Dennis Vasky behind the Islander net with a minute and a half to go in the period. Swatted back by Chenault for Boston. And Dean Chenault plays the puck for the Bruins. Chenault and Roloff. Bruin defense. Rogers, Kennedy, and McCleary the forward. But this is Bertuzzi for the Islanders. Driving in, shooting. Schaefer made the save, but not that one. They score. Schaefer was way back in his net. Travis Green threw it that way, and the Islanders have a 7-1 lead.
Oh, somebody bolted the young goaltender, knocked him down. He's back in the net. Travis Green jumps on a loose puck. A loose puck that sat there for the longest period of time. Mesmerized by it all, the Boston Bruins. Take a look. Our chase cam replay as stolen in the center ice area. Scott LaChance. Todd Bertuzzi battles to the front of the net. There, the goaltender back in, and here Travis Green. A little floater into the top of the net. The Islanders have their 7th with a minute and 8 seconds remaining in the second period.
Well, the Islanders scored 8 against Phoenix here on the 10th of December, and then they beat the Edmonton Oilers 8-1 in January here at the Coliseum. And now the Islanders with 7 have a chance to hit that number again. Final minute of the second period. Anson Carter to Jason Allison for the Bruins. Allison over the line. In front, Sweeney, and Tim Sweeney boarded by Salo.
Nice stop by Tommy Salo. The Boston Bruins, it seems each time that the Islanders have scored, the next play at a net seems to be the Boston Bruins making a play on Tommy Salo. 33 seconds. Travis Green scoring with a minute and 8 left, his 21st of the season.
8-game point scoring streak too now for Travis.
Yes, sir.
So the Islanders doing what they have to do at home against an admittedly weak team. These were games, though, that gave the Islanders problems earlier in the year. Started thinking you had an opportunity to take something for granted. And then a Tampa Bay, for example, would come in. The Islanders would be flat. First time the Bruins came in here. Earlier this month, the Islanders were flat.
5-2. Boston beaten in that hockey game.
But the Islanders took charge right from the start. Smolinski centers. Palffy scores! That's the hat trick! Number 44 for Ziggy. 8-1 Islanders.
Palffy, don't leave him around the front of the net with a loose puck. Somebody's either going to have to make a tremendous save or it's going to bend the twine, and that's exactly what happened. Smolinski from behind. There's Palffy, just pounded it into the right side of the net to the left of the goaltender, Paxton Schaefer. Palffy there, slam dunk. And his third goal of the hockey game. We've got a period plus 11.5 seconds still to play. So Zygmunt Palffy, hat-trick time.
It's his third career hat-trick. He had back-to-back hat-tricks in early March of last year. And since the Islanders have a player with a hat-trick, Discover Card donates $500 to the local chapter of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And as there were only 11.5 seconds to go in the period when Palffy scored, rather than take time to pick up all the hats, they're doing the smart thing, and they're going to call play now, send the teams to their respective rooms, and just tack the 11.5 seconds on to the third period, or at the very least to the time right after the upcoming intermission. Dave Jackson might need some candy and flowers after being whacked on the arm with that puck. Referee's back in business, and so are the hockey players after a slight delay. Anson Carter with a dump in for Boston. Troy Millette shrugs off Berard. In front, Allison. He deeks and shoots. Fischler the save. Hello again, Eric Fischler.
All right. Eric Fischler with his cat-like moves takes away a scoring opportunity for the Boston Bruins. Jason Allison. The Islanders let up a chase cam replay here, folks. There's the pass of beauty. Look at the puck bouncing and rolling. But getting in front of it, most importantly, is Eric Fischler.
Every day, Rick Bowness makes sure to stop by and have a conversation with Eric Fischler. Not necessarily to brief him on anything, because he knows the story. Tommy Salo's #1 for the time being. But Rick just wants to monitor Eric Fischler. Anson Carter throws it all the way out to the point. Webb stepped in front of Roloff, then gives it away. Troy Millette moves in, shoots. That's blocked. And the point for the Islanders. The McElwain. Dave McElwain plays it deep. Allison. Soft pass up the left side to Payne. Davis Payne, number 17. Trying to do it himself. Lost it. And now Webb moves out. McElwain for Green. Well, you notice that Smolinski, Palffy rifle line has had very little ice time here in the third period.
Yeah, probably giving them a little rest now. Clock all over Travis Green.
Payne up the left side. Here comes DeMaio for a backhander, and Fischler gobbles it up. Well, the Islanders leading by 7. Rick Bowness changed goaltenders, giving Eric Fischler some work, and obviously giving some rest to his top line, too.
Exactly, Howard. It's nice to have the option. And Eric Fischler, he's going to enjoy it. He wants to get in and get his timing, get all those things, get mentally more than physically, and that's the part of it all when you're a young goaltender. Trying to get better, trying to become actually a #1. And when you have the competition that the Islanders have, Rick Bowness likes that between two goaltenders, two young goaltenders. Boy, the kids got all the moves, don't they? Gee, I'll bet that haircut costs as much as the sweater, and that's about $80.
That's a Mo Howard special, baby. You gotta like it. Spread out.
He's got the moves. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Mo and the boys are coming back.
Yeah, but think of the tune that they're dancing to.
Dean Chanel shot, stick save, Fischler, and he covers up the rebound. Meantime, Brian McCabe entangled behind the net, now with a host of others. Initially, though, it was Landon Wilson. Got to be music to Eric Fischler's ears just to hear the crowd chanting his name. It means he's playing. And the Islanders are leading big.
Afraid it was never going to.
Islanders 8, Bruins 2, and it was as simple as that. The Islanders breaking to a 4-goal lead in the first period. Zygmunt Palffy would come up with a hat trick in the second period. Smolinski had 2 of those goals in the first, and really for the Islanders, an issue that was never in doubt. You could almost sense it from the first shift because they came out with a resolve that really backed up how necessary it was to get 2 more points this afternoon. Stan Fischler is standing by downstairs with our star of the game. Stan?
Well, he was singing on the bench, and he had plenty to sing about. A magnificent game for Ziggy Palffy. He's leading this team toward a playoff berth. And you remember when you were singing in the third period? You were doing like this. Remember?
No, I don't remember singing.
Well, then you were dancing. I mean, whatever you were doing.
Try to watch it.
Or did you have an itch? Did you have an itch? Is that?
A little bit.
Well, you have.
It's cold. My feet is cold.
Well, look, I've been away a little bit. Make believe I'm your cousin and tell me why the team's doing so well since I saw you last.
I think because we're playing great defensively, and we stick together. I think 20 guys working hard, and everything's going well for us. We're shooting puck more than the net, and we have a lot of chances.
And Reichel?
I think it helps a lot right now, We play better power play, we score goals, and if you have a scoring chance, you're going to score a goal, it's a goal.
And Ziggy told me before we went on that the language Czech, Slovak is the same, really. So do you guys talk in your native language when you're on the ice?
We talk just about the face-off, where you're going to stand. But on the bench, we talk a little more, what you're going to do if D is going down and we put a puck up, and it's just, sometimes, not all the time. You have to speak English because his smoke is over there.
The man scored a hat trick. We're going to take a look at the goal that made it number 3 for Ziggy Palffy, and we'll see if we can take you through it. Take me through it right there.
Oh, just to put it back behind the net and try to go to the front of the net, and puck is going after me and just try to shot in the net. It was a goal.
Wow, when you got that technique. What about Smolinski? How do you feel about him on the line?
I think it's great, we fill up, our line, and we're playing great defensively. He's all the time low and just playing great right now.
Smolinski speak English? How's he speaking?
Speak English great.
The hockey club now obviously getting closer to the making the playoffs. When you talked to me earlier today, I remember you said something, hey, maybe the Stanley Cup, remember?
It's really hard right now. We have 1 point like from a playoff spot, and there's another game is right now Dallas, and we have to think about Dallas right now, and it's coming like we have to win right now a couple games, and we see what happens,
Well, you're on a roll. And he's the reason why the Islanders are on the roll. They're getting closer and closer. We'll have more of the post-game show right after this.